Hi guys, this morning's video is about goals. So guys, this is the 30th of December and I've made a revelation to myself this morning, and that is that people don't really want to know about food. They don't, coming up to Christmas, yeah, but coming up to New Year's, no, because it's already kind of depressing enough. New Year's heralds a sense of failure for a lot of people because of things not done, and a sense of dread instead of opportunity for the future, because they're like, oh God, what's going to happen in 2025? And we've also all had a lot of uncertainty in the last couple of years because of the rising prices and the wars that are going on and stuff. So everyone's a little bit, it's tough. It's tough out there. It's really tough out there. So we need to kind of regroup. So I always set goals and I always handwrite them. I am a digital queen. I love digital, but I'll tell you one thing about goals. You have to write them down. You need to get physical piece of paper. I would get a notebook. I have this old one here, this old journal or journal journalist jotter. They're about €1 in the pound shop or wherever you €2 shop or whatever. And I actually write my goals and I do it regularly. I won't show you that one, but I have the daily goal sheet and I tick things off as I go along. I scribble them out. And then I also have a long-term goal sheet. I'm a great believer in goals, and I believe that that is the reason that I have always achieved everything that I kind of wanted. And I've had lots of rocky patches and stony ground along the way. Like that, goals don't mean that it's smooth sailing. It ain't. It just means that you have the tenacity to keep going and it helps you to focus. But it really doesn't mean that you have no problems. You have loads of problems, sometimes the same as other people, sometimes worse. Like I have had some horrendous things happen to me. Of course, like everybody, there is shit always around the corner. And it's a bit like when you have money, you look at your bank account, you say, God, I finally have money, and the next thing a big bill comes in. That's Murphy's Law. That's Murphy's Law. That's part of the fun of life. It's part of the dread. It's difficult. But I do believe in goals. I do believe in, I'm not sure if it's called manifestation, but I do believe in manifesting what you want. But you need goals. And I always put down the steps to get to the goal. And like, sometimes my goal is 5, 10 years out. Um, and sometimes it's 5 years and it takes 8 years. So like when I was saving to buy this house, I had a 5-year plan. It took 8 years to save and no going out. It was really, really, really tough, but it's a mental, you have to do it. You will not save up for a deposit for a house without sacrifice, without not going out, without not drinking, without buying cheaper food, without sacrifice. And I just completely doggedly, and there were plenty shitty things happen in those 8 years, plenty shitty things. There was a couple of really major shitty things and some major costs, but they don't really matter. Once you're healthy and you keep going and you keep plowing away, it'll almost inevitably take you longer. When I do a budget, a couple of years ago I did a budget for a trip I was going on, and I trebled the budget. It ended up costing exactly what I had predicted, because you will always undervalue what you're going to do because you think you're going to be more economical than you are. But say something like a holiday, you're going to overspend. You're going to buy more things than you want, than you need. And I always at least double the budget, but in that instance I trebled it. And actually it was just as well because it was a trip to the UK and Brexit had happened, and the costs, I mean, we just live in Ireland, so it's pretty cheap, but to go in general to go to the UK, but post Brexit, UK is very expensive. So it was lucky that I had trebled the budget. And the flight, I mean, we went Ryanair. The flights were the cheapest, but we stayed in a fancy hotel. the Hotel Football. It's right beside Old Trafford, so we're big Manchester United fans in this house. And well, maybe not at the moment so much. Don't ask me about it. But we decided to stay in Hotel Football, which is right across. Literally, I woke up in the morning and I could look across at Old Trafford. It was because I said I am the type of person go big or go home, and I don't spend a lot of money on these things. But when I do it properly. That's not in everybody's, but I save up, and I save up sometimes for a couple of years. Like that was in the plan for 10 years, that trip, but I there was never enough money for that because there's needs and wants. So you have needs; these are the things you must have. You want food, utilities, paying your bills. They all get paid in my house first, and then after that you have your wants. So though that was a want, so that was a trip that was might have happened only if the money was available, which became because I saved for it. Anything that I have saved for. But I don't really tell people. I write it in my secret list, and then I do it. And I save money on things like I buy the cheapest makeup. And you could say, oh, it kind of shows. I don't really care. That kind of stuff doesn't really bother me. Um, I like, of course, like any woman, I want to look as well as I can. But like even the haircut now. But that's partly my own paranoia. When I was a kid, my hair was short. And I always said, when I'm going to be an adult and my mother is not in charge of that scissors, I am letting my hair grow long. Now, unfortunately, my hair kind of breaks off. I know there's loads of products that I should get, and you can put in the comments below what products they are. But my hair does break off quite a lot, and I have like frizz ball. I've really kind of fine hair. It's like really like thin strands of hair, but it's not that thin, but it's just very strandy, and yeah, it does break off the end. But I will not give up. I will not give up my raggedy hair. Plus, I really hate those sharp haircuts that people are getting. I know this is a pet peeve. Now you're really finding out about me. I hate those sharp, angular bob haircuts. Oh my God. If there's one thing I could ban, well, there's a few things I would ban, but those sharp haircuts on the kind of 35 plus age. Oh God. Oh my God. Please. They're the worst thing I've ever seen. So I much prefer my raggedy hair. I still want to pretend that I'm that age where I can have the raggedy hair. So I don't care. I don't care. So yeah, I save up for stuff. So my goals for 2025, number one, I always number them. I think it's important. It helps set it in your brain, and writing it down helps set it in your brain. So grow my business. So that's number one. Number two is increase the consultancy work. So I've already started on some of that and the talks that I give. Number three, develop skills in YouTube and TikTok and other platforms. So I keep my videos very basic. I could do more, but I just don't have the time. But now I might have some time this year. Grow hair longer. That's always in the plan. So that's even written down. It's even written down because if I just let's say I'm doing something and I accidentally find out that there's a product out there that's good for hair growth, I might that this will be on my mind because of this. So you put down the things that are important to you. Number five, continue experimentation with supplements. So that's an important one as well because I've been experimenting with supplements. I continue to kind of do, but I have a core group of supplements. Number six, lose 10 to 15 pounds. This should probably be number one. I often put the one that is most likely to happen first down at the bottom. Because what happens is the cream always rises. So you always be thinking in the long run of the top one. So I just keep going back, but I circle up and down. So lose 10 to 15 pounds in January to March. I have a wedding in April. So better lose a few pounds. So 2025. So I'm specific. So I always set a timeline and I'm specific about the ones that I know that need to be done urgently. So I say grow my business, that's all of 2025. But I could say that in a shorter term. and might do in another one. And then number 7, increase walking. I have not walked in 6 weeks, and I actually feel I had to walk somewhere the other day. I nearly died. It's amazing how quickly your fitness level just drops down. And weight loss is difficult without walking. And then number 8 is save money. So that's a general plan, but that may be tightened up as well. But that's probably going to be to over the 12 months. So there are my goals for 2025. So set goals, guys, and get a piece of paper. Like this is not old fashioned. Get a piece of paper and write out your goals, because I can tell you, if you store it digitally and it's on your phone, it's not going to sink in. It only sinks in when you hand write it with your physical hand with a pen, and you go, oh, and also it'll connect you. It'll connect you with something physical. We're all so digitized. And listen, I'm as much digital as anybody else. But write down your goals for 2025 and do it today before you get drunk tomorrow night. Peace out, guys. I will talk to you soon.